Hello guys, welcome back to a new tutorial. Today I have got a Grunge Twitter header tutorial for you guys. I have actually made one of these in the past, but it was pretty outdated and it wasn't actually, for my standards now, it's not actually, it doesn't actually look that good. But yes, we got this new updated Grunge header tutorial. I think it's pretty nice. We're going to be using this Imperial Dragons logo just for a placeholder, and it's looking pretty nice. And if you want to go to the description, you guys can download this little PSD I've got here. I've got the background grunge texture. I've got some of the smoke, and then we've also got the logo here as well. If you want to use that just for practice, and yeah. So if you want to go download that, the link will be in the description. And besides from that, we'll get started. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to File, New, and the dimensions for a Twitter header are 1500 by 500, and you can do 3000 by 1500. But it doesn't really make much of a difference. Well, I don't notice it anyway. So we're just going to press OK. And okay, so now we've got this white page right here, well, this white canvas right here. So we're going to go to our foreground color, make sure it's a black, and then we're just going to go to our paint bucket tool. It might be your gradient tool that you might have there, so you might need to click and hold and just go to your paint bucket and just click once, and then you can see that we've now got a black background. And the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to drag in our grunge straight away. So we're going to go back to our little pack that we have here. We're going to click and just going to drag it in just like that. And if you did download it from the pack, then it should already be sized up for you. But if you didn't, or you're using your own grunge, you might need to resize it to the size of the canvas. So to do that, all you need to do is press Command T, and then hold Shift, and then just make it the same width as the canvas, so it fills up the whole area, and that there's no empty space going on, and that should be fine. Okay, so now we're going to get the logo as well. So just going to click on the logo layer, just click and drag it in, just like that. And now we need to make sure that it's centered. So to do that, we need to click on the padlock of the layer 0 or the background layer just to unlock it, then press Command T, and then you can see that we've got this outline going around the layer, and that we also have this little icon here in the center, and then we're going to be using that to make our guides pretty much. So we're going to use these rulers around the outside. If you don't have these rulers here, just press Command R, and that will hide and show your rulers. Then you can click on the ruler and just drag inwards, just like that. And there you can see that we actually have our guides right there. We can just do the same from the top as well, and there you can see that we actually have these blue lines here helping us, telling us where the center of the canvas is. Now we need to click on our logo layer, press Command T again, and then we just want to match it up just like that, just so we can actually see that it's actually in the center of our canvas and that everything's laid out properly. And we're actually going to hold Alt and Shift just to downsize it a bit. And okay, that should be fine. We can also hide our guides, so like these blue lines here, just by pressing Command and colon. That will hide and show our guides, and it just makes the things a lot easier to see. And yeah. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're now going to add a layer style to our logo. So we're just going to double click on the logo layer. Now we've got this little pop-up window here, and we're going to go to drop shadow first. We're going to increase the size a bit. You guys can just copy down these digits. We're going to increase the opacity to about 75%. I think 75% is the default, so you should be fine. And okay, okay. So these are the digits we're going to be using. You guys can just pause the video, copy them down if that's what you need to do. And the next thing we're going to add is a gradient overlay. So we're just going to click on gradient overlay. Make sure that this is on multiply, and we're going to increase the opacity a bit, I think. And okay, it's about 90%, that should be fine. Then we're going to go to gradient right here, and we're going to make sure it's a regular black to white gradient. And you can kind of see it kind of just adds a nice fade to it. I like the effect it has, and that's why I use it pretty much. And okay, the next thing we're going to add is a satin, and this is all like preference. Some of them work well, some of them don't. You can just mess around with which ones look good, but I think for this one, I think that we're going to go for this one. This is the one that I usually use. It kind of looks like a hill, and yeah. So we can decrease the size, and now we can see that we've got all these little white lines. And when we increase the size, it basically blurs those white lines, and you can kind of see it has these light effects on the logo. It's kind of subtle, but it does look kind of nice, and that's why I like to add it. It just adds a bit more depth to the logo. And yeah. So the next thing we're going to use is an inner glow. And we don't want it, I think that's a bit too much actually. You might decrease the size. Okay, it just takes a bit of fiddling around. And actually, because we've added the gradient overlay, we might actually not need it, just because it kind of adds a bit of light to the dark parts, which we don't really want. So you might actually get rid of the inner glow. And okay, that is the effect to the logo done. And now we're going to add some color correction. So the first thing we're going to do is going to go to brightness and contrast on this adjustments tab. If you don't have your adjustments tab open, just go to window and adjustments right there. and it should be the very first icon. We're going to increase the contrast a bit, and okay, we might actually decrease the brightness. That should be fine, just like that. Okay, it's not looking too bad so far. Okay, so now we're going to add some curves. So it's just this icon right here, again on the adjustments tab. Just click once, and I think we might just make a bit of a dip, and then just make it level at near the end. It just harshens the background colors, and yeah, I think it looks kind of nice when we do that. Okay, so now we've basically done all of the color correction we need. That is literally all of the color correction done for this tutorial. And the next thing we're going to add is the smoke. So we're just going to click on the layer, again just drag it in. It's that easy, just to drag it in. And we're going to put it behind, actually no, we can keep it in front of the logo. And we're just going to lower the opacity right down. You do want to kind of be hard to see the smoke. It just kind of adds a muggy feel to the header. And yeah, so you might just want to duplicating it just by holding Alt and just drag. And then we can also lower the opacity of this one as well, just to make them look a bit different. Okay, so now that we've done that, you might see that the background texture might look a bit too harsh. You might like it the way it is, but you might not. So you want to click on the texture layer, and then we can just lower the opacity down. And because the layer 0 is black, we can actually see that it just makes the whole thing a bit darker. And you can actually see the smoke a bit more as well, so that might be useful if you're going for that kind of effect. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to add is this orange effect in the background. So to do that, all you need to do is make a new layer, just by clicking on this icon right here. Make sure that the layer is below the logo layer, and now we need to make sure that the foreground color is an orange, just because the orange is the primary logo, the primary color of the logo. So we can just use our eyedropper tool right here and get the exact same color as the logo, and then we can just press OK. Now we need to press B on our keyboard to get our brush tool, or you can just click right there, and then we can actually use our square bracket keys to resize the brush. And okay, that should be fine. And if you want to know what brush I'm using, I'm just using, if you right click, you have all these options come up, and I'm just going to use this default brush right here. I think everyone should have it, so you shouldn't have any issues right there. Okay, so now we're just going to click once right at the very center. You can show your guides again if you think that can help you, but you just want to kind of line it up with your logo. Just click once, and you can see that we kind of got this orange effect in the background, and then we can just lower the opacity of that, and then it kind of makes this effect more subtle, and it just kind of, I don't know, it just adds a nice effect. I like it, and it works pretty well. And actually, I think we might actually add some more color correction. So we're going to go back to our brightness and contrast, increase the contrast a bit, and it just kind of makes that orange color a bit more harsh and a bit more subtle as well. Okay guys, that's pretty much how you do this Grunge texture tutorial, or this Grunge texture tutorial, this Grunge Twitter header tutorial. In my opinion, I like the way it looks, and I think it looks really nice. So if you guys want to use this tutorial, feel free. And if this tutorial hits 45 likes, the PSD to this finished Twitter header will be in the description, as well as this pack right here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you did find it useful, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.